Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve, otherwise known as Pin, and today we're going to take a look at Robert Space Industries' mighty Polaris. I love the look of this ship, okay, and I know a lot of people own this ship, and I know a lot of people want this ship. I am in the latter category. I love the look of this thing, I really do. Nothing screams sci-fi as much as this ship. It's dripping in turrets, it's very well armed. Not particularly well armoured. It is a corvette, and it was designed to attack things very brutally from the front. We have 28 size 10 torpedoes in this absolute beast of a machine, along with 36 size 3 missiles and various turrets. We have a size 5 turret located under the chin. We have multiple size 4 turrets strewn across the rest of the chassis. So this ship means business, okay, and I love the look of this. I really want to get this in my fleet. Ideally I would have it next to my Perseus when I eventually get one of those, because I think those two ships will work brilliantly in tandem. It is much larger than the Perseus, and is probably going to get bigger during the white box phase, because I believe they're going to add some extra things, medical bay, brig, and some other spaces into the vessel, so that will be something to look forward to. We also get 216 SCU, okay, which again is nothing to turn your nose up at, and a hangar for a small fighter, or if you could, probably, I reckon, if it gets bigger, squeeze 2 fighters in there, because I think this ship is going to need fighter escort, in my opinion. Right, let's now move on to the holo viewer. Okay, here we are with the holo viewer, and you can see this thing looks epic, right? I really love the look of those 6 engines at the back, and the way the ship sort of points towards the end. It's like the shape of a dart or an arrow, you know. It's got a poignant, evil look to it. So this ship, designed to go full frontal, no nonsense. As we said before, plenty of torpedoes. It's actually 32 missiles, sorry, I said 36 by mistake. So yeah, still 32 size 3 missiles is still pretty bloody impressive. And you'll notice behind the bridge there looks like they look like air scoops. These are actually the torpedo tubes, okay, so the torpedoes will be fired just behind the bridge, which I think is a very nice place to have them. Helps with accuracy, I would have thought. So very big ship, corvette, forward stroke, very large gunboat, designed to go in and do some serious damage towards capital ships and or stations. 24-man crew, so that is something to consider. Would cost quite a lot of money, I think, to run this with an NPC crew, so that is something you'd have to think about. The turret located underneath the chin is a size 5. We have size 4s on the top and on the port and starboard of the ship. We have 2 turrets at the back as well. One of them is manned and one of them is automated. I'm not too sure which is which at this moment in time. Again, I think that would be for shooting down incoming missiles, etc. We also have the missile launcher on the very top of the ship, and we have one located below that. We have the docking collar here, and another turret here. So, defensive-wise, okay, she isn't thickly armoured, and won't be able to take much punishment, but she is, despite her size, very fast, very nimble. So it's hit and run tactics is how I would employ this ship. Go in, throw all your torpedoes. You have to be quite close, you're not going to hit them at range, and just through saturation of torpedoes and missiles, hopefully you get your kill, and then you get the hell out of there. GTFO, right? That is how I would use this ship. There we have these turrets, again, like the Perseus. This bottom one, I think, is not going to be effective at all. Unless you have a missile or fighter tail-sitting you, I can't see it being all too effective. The top one is a little bit better, in my opinion. But again, surrounded by these massive engines. It could cause some issues. Not sure what these are, but I think, if I had to hazard a guess, countermeasure dispensers, right? That's my theory. So that's the 3D view of the glorious and goddamn gorgeous Polaris. Okay, what we're going to do now, guys, is take a look at some of these tasty images, concept designs of the Polaris. And you can see here we have the bridge, and I love the look of this bridge. Very big, very clean, nice large MFDs, really nice place to sit, especially if you are the captain, right? Look at that chair. We have this guy on the right loitering. I would immediately jettison him out of a torpedo tube. This isn't a bloody teenager's playground. It's a military vessel, okay? He'd be out. So really love the look of that bridge. I think it's going to be epic. I hope they keep the sort of look of this thing. As you can see here in this image, it's going to town on a vessel. With support, of course. Like I said, I do think support will be quite a important thing for this ship, as it's not particularly well armoured. We know it's got weak points at the back, right, with those turret locations. But frontally, a full frontal attack from this ship will devastate everything in its path. You do not want to be the receiving end of a Polaris. And here we have the corridor designs of this ship, and this is where it gets interesting, because they're nice and wide. Look at the colour scheme as well. I love that blue and white. Very large corridors for moving equipment, troops. If you got boarded, you could shoot multiple people in the face with clear lines of sight. It's going to be amazing when this ship comes out. Really enjoying the colour scheme. Again, I hope they don't change too much, because I think what this is here is awesome, right? Love the look of this. So hopefully it doesn't change too much, but I think the large corridors is very important for a ship like this. Now, when it comes to the hangar, I think if this ship gets bigger, it fits one Gladius in. Now, looking from the hangar, from the images I've seen, we'll get more in a bit, but I think maybe we could get 2 in there, right? I do think fighter support will be quite important. So here we have a Gladius nestled in there. I reckon with some playing about, we could get 2 in there. If the crates and stuff weren't in the way, you can see scattered in and around the the hangar bay there. I think we could get 2 Gladiuses in there. What do you think? Do you think we could get 2 in there? I think we could get 2 in there. But again, love the look of the hangar. Multiple entry points, nicely lit. Really cool design, actually. The more I look at this ship, the more and more I want one. I think we could get 2. We could definitely get some like Argo cargoes in there if you wanted to get logistics from other planets and stuff. That could be pretty useful. Maybe 1 fighter and an Argo cargo would be nice to get into the hangar, right? And here we have a picture of the mess hall and a pool table, which was requested by one of the commanders. I do apologise, I've completely forgotten his name. He was adamant that we needed some recreation in there for the troops. Again, nice and clean looking, very spacious, 24-man crew. They're going to be happy, something to do when they're not working. I'm going to allow this guy to lean on the table because he's off rotation. Okay, if he's on duty, again, out the torpedo tube, spaced. I will not have loitering on my vessel. And then here we come to the torpedo area, and as you can see, they are monsters, right? These torpedoes are absolute monsters. It's its own separate bay, okay? So that you would have a crew working in the torpedo area. So the communication between bridge and firing the torpedoes is going to be paramount to the success of this ship. It is not fired remotely from the bridge. As I understand it, it is in fact the crew in the torpedo bay firing these when told to. So communication is going to be key there, and that's something else you will have to bear in mind. But I like that aspect because that really gives you a space feel, you know. Barking orders, following the chain of command, and you have your NPCs or org members in there doing as they're told. Now this image is great. This image is great because this is where we come on to the no nonsense, right, let's have it. Multiple torpedoes fired, we've got all of those missiles, we've deployed our Gladius, we're going in. Can't wait for this ship to come. Do you guys own this? Are you looking to get one? And if you do own it, how long have you had it? How much did you pay for it? Is this the best thing since sliced bread? Let me know, because I'm always interested what you guys think about these ships. I do read all the comments, or try to at least, so I will try and reply to most of them. But yeah, very much want this alongside my Perseus. I think those two will work in tandem beautifully. I'd send this in first, break everything's shields, okay? But because she's lightly armoured, she needs to GTFO. So once the shields, let's pretend we're attacking an Idris. We send our Polaris in, we absolutely wreck it, or try to. Let's just say that we get one torpedo hit, shields go down, we're getting attacked by various fighters, etc. We need to GTFO. Cue the Perseus, the heavily armoured gunboat, and she rocks up and she just annihilates what's left. You know, that's the sort of scenario I've got in my head. Whether or not that would play out that way, I'm not sure, but I just think those two ships would work in tandem beautifully. You know, here's a size comparison between the two. So the Polaris, much larger than the Perseus, but I just think working together, there isn't a lot of things that are going to cause issues. Of course, it could be the airy starfighters that could cause problems. We'll wait and see how that sort of unfolds. But I think these two working together, and if you have a fighter escort, it's a very, very strong lineup, right? You send a Polaris in to cause mayhem and havoc. The Perseus follows in behind and clears up anything that you haven't killed already. And I just think that, for me, imagine owning both of these in your fleet. Do you have both of these? My god, I'm jealous. If you've got both of these ships and you're in an org and you've got dedicated fighters, there isn't going to be much stopping you. That's for sure. Okay, let's move on to some of the brochure articles. Polaris. With the launch of RSI's new line of corvette class vessels, the possibilities of small capital ship warfare have never been redefined. Lethal offensive firepower and searing speed make the Polaris able to provide optimal warfighting capabilities and operational flexibility. Designed to be a self-sustaining combat platform, the Polaris is capable of extended deployment without resupply, while still providing crew members with higher quality of life standards than most currently available fleet options, allowing for enhanced morale and combat effectiveness while on assignment. The Polaris is truly a first-class vessel that will add a much-needed dimension to the Empire's fleet. I would agree with that statement. I don't think any of that is a lie. I think this ship is going to be an absolute beast when it appears in the verse. Capable of housing one live fighter for combat support or utility vehicles for additional operational flexibility. So that's the hangar. Bridge. RSI incorporated their iconic high visibility bridge, allowing for increased situational awareness. I do like the design of the bridge, as I previously said. Hopefully it doesn't change too much. It will be very roomy, very clean, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Engines. 2 main and 4 auxiliary thrusters provide the Polaris enough power to chase down fleeing outlaws and evade hostiles looking to achieve target lock. Yes, again we go back to this ship being, yes it is large, but it is very nimble for its size and very quick, which will certainly help. And it's lightly armoured, right? So manoeuvrability should be pretty good for this thing. If I ever get to try it, I think I'll be happy as Larry. The only concern I have is, would I be able to man it? And I have to be realistic with that. So we can make money with it, right? 216 cargo. Is that going to boycott the price of NPCs? How many org members can I get in here with me? These are all questions that we have to consider. And here we have a blueprint, forward stroke schematics of the ship itself. So starting with the left, we have the top and bottom missile racks, front torpedo launchers, cargo bay, entrance to the entrance elevator, my apologies, top, bottom missile rack, cargo bay, door, forward stroke ramp, the hangar, engineering at the back of the vessel, back bottom turret. Moving to the right, we have the cockpit, escape pod room, docking ring, mess, the crew quarters, side turret, back escape pods, which again I imagine are going to be super important for when we need to run away bravely. Nicely designed, I think. It could be interesting just where they expand the ship, because we know there are some more things coming. This is the side view. We'll start with the top image, okay? Escape pod room, torpedo storage, mess, top missile rack, And then at the bottom, torpedo tubes, torpedo loader, entrance elevator, bottom missile rack, cargo hold. The bottom image is the bridge, so we have the co-pilot on the right, pilot on the left, remote turret operator on the rear right, captain's seat slap bang in the middle at the back, and the comms officer. All nicely. I think coordination between that crew will be really nice, considering how they're all situated, right? So that's something to look forward to. I think that would be very nice to have a 5-man in there, all communicating, coordinating correctly. Would be a very nice sensation, I imagine, in the front of the Polaris. So talking about some of the components that this ship has, it does have 2 large shields, 2 medium hydrogen fuel tanks, 1 large quantum drive and 1 large quantum fuel tank. So 2 large shields will help against fighters. I'm not sure if that will be enough to protect it against, say, medium and large bombers, but it would definitely help with the fighters. So we'll see if that changes over time. But overall, I'd say that those are fairly decent components, right? This ship should also get a armory, a brig, a med bay, captain's quarters, crew quarters, and a pilot's separate quarters, I believe. So there should be some more things coming if they're not already implemented, which will probably increase the size, I would have thought. So yeah, looking forward to those additions. Okay, so these are some of the features that you can see on screen now for the UES Polaris. Captain Lucia Franco, that was the commander, who requested that there was a pool table in this ship, so nice. And here we have a size chart displaying just the size of this vessel compared to some of the other things that were going to be in the game, either now or in the future. Sort of upper mid-tier, larger than the Starfarer, but smaller than the Idris frigate. But look at the size of that Bengal carrier. Is that not ridiculous? It's 1 kilometer long, for crying out loud. Okay, so let's now look at the sort of details of the outside of the ship. So nose of the turret automated, top turrets manned, 1 crew each, missile pod automated, auxiliary thrusters, top turret manned. Okay, so it's the top turret at the rear is manned. Heat exhaust closes when idle. Main thruster, side turret manned, 1 crew member. All very nice stuff, I think you'll agree. So I'm not going to say it's completely defenseless because that's not true. It's just that light armor that scares me a little bit. But hopefully the speed and agility of this ship will stop anything particularly evil happening to us. Crew 13 to 24, so a skeleton crew of 13 is what I'm taking from that little bit of info there. 7 stations, 5 on bridge, 1 engineering, 1 torp room, shield 3 large, front center rear type quadrant, armor light 1 times capital ship power plant. All very cool stuff, very much looking forward to it. And here we go with another view. So we have the rear turret automated. Okay. Cargo hold, 216 SCU. Cargo access, doors double as ramp when loaded. Torpedo room, 1 times weapon terminal. And on the right, figure B, torpedo bays, capable of firing 4 times 6 torpedoes simultaneously, size 6. That can't be right because they are size 10, right? So this must be old and a little bit incorrect, but that sort of gives you an information on where these torpedoes are being fired from. And I like that they're just located on the neck of the ship behind the bridge. And that would be an awesome sight watching those leave if you're sitting in the bridge, especially if you're the captain and you've given the command to let hell loose. And you see all these massive torpedoes go whizzing by. Can only be a good thing, right? And here we go with the hangar. Cargo bay, floor elevates to create a landing platform, space for 1 small fighter. And then we have the top, back, side, and top. Top, front, back, side, top of the ship. Yeah, I really want one. It's on my must-have list, along with the Perseus. And then anything else that I come across. I've got my Banu Merchantman, which is my dream dream ship at the moment. I absolutely love the look of that ship. But this and the Perseus will eventually find their way into my hangar. Here we have some details on the landing gear. It's a tricycle landing gear. Very big, very chunky, along with 4 auxiliary thrusters. And it gives you a nice little image of where exactly they are located on the ship. So the more you read into this ship, the more it looks awesome, the more I want one, you know. Very much looking forward to not even owning one. Maybe someone will give me a nice little tour. Who knows? And here we go with this massive torpedo bay. Linear motor propulsion system. Main booster system. Size 6 class warhead. We know that's wrong. Navigation systems. And yeah, a lot of stowage needed to carry such an immense payload, right? But overall, what a weapon that this ship is going to turn out to be. Okay guys, that's going to wrap up my video on the Polaris. It's a ship I really want, but I want to hear from you. Do you own one? Do you own 2? Are you that fortunate? Did you pick this over the Perseus? Why did you pick it? How are you going to run it? Where are you going to deploy it? How are you going to man it? All questions that I think need answering, and as always, I'm always happy to hear from you. I do read all the comments, so put your thoughts down there. And that's going to wrap up this video, guys, so thank you very much for watching. Guys, if you did enjoy today's video, then you know what buttons to press, and I will have more Star Citizen content en route to your location very soon. Cheers!